Another edition of Around the Rim. I am your host, the Dudster, Nestor Dudley. As the journey to March Madness continues, my special guest in the studios this week is Papa Mark Gillis, Papa of Josh and Justin, the Gillis twins of the Bullets. Mr. Gillis, welcome to Around the Rim.
Pleasure to be here.
I'm glad
Thank
that
you very much for inviting me.
I'm glad that you were able to make it. Maybe or maybe not, Papa Carmine Bonaparte might make it. We have a seat right there, so if he does make it, we're going to put him right up there. But
he's been known to upstage me a few times, yes.
Well, I was thinking that it might be a good thing that he doesn't show, because why should you be sharing the spotlight?
I had a feeling I was not going to disagree with you all night.
Papa Gillis, your Bullets team that both your sons are on have a chance to do what only one team has done before, repeat as champions. The years was 1992 and 93. It was the Hawks, and you know the old saying, what they say, the more things change, the more things stay the same. Well, when the Hawks won the title in 1992, they had one Frenny, Mark Frenny. The next year, 1993, his twin brother Eddie Frenny joined the team, and they are repeat champions. Now here we come. You fast forward the clock over a decade later in the year 2004, Justin Gillis. Now the year 2005, twin brother Josh joining the Bullets. So there is some.
I wasn't aware of that.
Of course you wasn't aware. That's why I'm the Dudster. I have all this knowledge in my head. I can't find any way to make any money off it, but I have all this knowledge in my head.
That's why I'm so glued to your program every week.
But your Bullets are in a good position to repeat. Right now they're sitting in third place. 9-4 is their record.
There's a pretty big wall in front of us named the Lakers.
Yes, and now that you brought up the Lakers, let's talk about the Lakers. I'm sure as the parent.
You told me to bring that up. No, he didn't do that.
I'm sure as a parent of the Bullet, you know about Bullet's Laker history. Mm-hmm. Last season, you witnessed Bullet history in full effect, because usually when the Bullets and Lakers meet up, always a good game. More often than not, the Bullets win. The Bullets swept the Lakers last year. Mm-hmm. Now, for the first time since 1997, the Lakers have swept the Bullets. And I'd like to get your perspective of a Bullet parent. These things just ain't supposed to happen.
Well, I'm impressed with the Lakers this year. I really am. They've really come together as a team, and the amount of intensity that the coaches instill in these guys is just amazing. And the fact that you're so quiet on the sidelines this year really makes a big difference. But,
well, I have always been one to shy away from the limelight as much as possible.
I have noticed that, and Bernard is doing a great job as well. And I just see your team as we're heading towards the playoffs. I just find that they're playing more like a team, and I guess that's been their successful story all throughout the year, is maintaining that team concept. Which is why I think that if and when the Lakers meet the Bullets, there's another team that plays a huge team concept. There's no. It's a selfless game when they play the game, and
the Bullets showed last year, not to cut you off, but the Bullets showed last year what team basketball does. Team basketball and defense win championships.
Absolutely, absolutely. Unfortunately, we don't have the Mountain Moniz in the middle.
You don't have the Mountain Moniz, a man that you know very well.
That's right. That is my stepson. And
I mean, how much dollars did it cost you over the years feeding that big boy?
My goodness, no food ever went to waste in our house. And then again, you have a fellow like Steele. And we're missing a guy like that now. There's a guy that he just presses 150% all the time, and he just go to the basket, not go to the basket. And the guy is just amazing. And then we had the other fellow, I can't think of his name right now, the wrestler there.
Richardson.
I mean, we had some big bodies. We don't have the big bodies this year.
The couple of big bodies that you do have, which is that guy named Gus Cognata and Michael Butterfinger Bonaparte. He mama called him Butterfinger. That's not me, Papa Gillis. You were sitting there when he mama said Butterfinger. So, if she wants to nickname her baby boy Butterfingers, who am I to argue? There are a couple of big bodies. But again, like you said, Moniz, who spent a career knowing what his role was. His role was staying in the paint.
That's right.
He was a lefty, so it was very difficult to defend that. And he just knew one speed, that was just put that head down and go. But he got himself a whole heap of points and was able to help the Bullets win that title a season ago. You talked about Phil Mano Steele. He was that point guard that Steve Wright has not had the past several seasons.
That's right.
And he was a seasoned veteran. He spent his 2 previous seasons a part of the Sixers organization. And then Richardson, a whole heap of boards. He played the minimal amount of games to be eligible for the madness because he had to split his duties wrestling. He was an all-star wrestler.
He just cleared people out. Him and Moniz just cleared people out from underneath there, which we don't have that this year because Bonapane and Gus are playing a little more outside, which opens up the middle. And if you don't have those big bodies in it, that's why the other team is getting so many offensive rebounds and getting those baskets. So that's what's hurting us, I think, a lot this year, is the big guys not being down below.
What I did notice, Papa Gillis, is that from the midway point of the season on, that Bonapane and Cognata have been concentrating more down low. And you must think that in the Bullets camp, when they're at practices, that both Steve Wright, Boo Boo Collins, Mark Gagnon, and probably you and Papa Bonapane up in the stands yelling, get some bodies down low, you know what I mean? Because it was a whole heap of rebound opportunities missed without any rebounders down low. The only one who was rebounding down low was Dean.
That's right. And I think with Bonapane, I mean, we could go to him all day underneath the basket, all day long. But again, you got to get that in the heads of the people that are throwing the ball to him.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I think we have the speed. Speed is a huge factor. You know, not to blow my horn on my son, any of my boys, but Josh has got the speed. We saw that when he covered Papagallo in that game
against the Sixers.
He didn't get many touches that game.
Yes.
And if we can do something like that with Jeremy, that the less touches he gets, the better.
Yes. And
he's a fantastic player. I haven't seen a player at this level of that with that much talent in a long time. There's a few things he has to work on, but all in all, the kid's a good kid, and he plays a heck of a game of ball. It's fun to watch him.
You might not want to toot the horns of your offsprings, but I'll certainly toot the horns for you. I mean, you have Justin and Josh. They are both solid players in this league. It seems that Justin, and I know the difference between the two, they're not identical, they're fraternal.
That's right.
It seems that Justin is usually the point guard. But let me read down the rosters of the Bullets for one quick second, because we don't want to leave anybody out.
Absolutely
Michael
not.
Fitzgerald, that guy named Gus Cognata, Sam Renee, Michael Butterfinger Bonapane, Jimmy Dean, Jarrell Down Townsend, Victor Tran, Nick Hooper, Justin, and Josh, the Gillis twins. A nice squad that can repeat. Steve Wright is almost in the identical position as he was last season, almost being able to make any type of change on the floor and not skip a beat. Almost. Not as quite as last year because of a couple more bigger bodies, as you mentioned at the start of the program.
Justin can handle the ball, and if he can work with Victor's starting to come into his own. He's going to be a heck of a player next year, Victor Tran. And I just see a lot of good things for him. And the rest of the team rounds out too. Darrell and Nick Cooper play some unbelievable defense. When they're called on to do it, they do the job.
Now, the music that you hear, Papa Gillis, I don't want you to be frightened, but you are officially caught up in the MNBL Web. You afraid of that? You never know. What the MNBL Web is that I have my guests in the web for no more than 3 minutes. I can ask my guests any question, and it may or may not have to do with the MNBL. But this question does have to do with the MNBL. Papa Gillis, are you or are you not satisfied with the officiating that goes on down at the heavyweight school?
Gee, I wonder why you asked me that question. Actually, I'll tell you, so I wrote an article. I gave it to Steve Frecker down at the Malden Evening News.
And he used to coach in this league. He used to have the Hawks. He had a whole heap of titles.
Yeah,
Steve Frecker did.
And I don't get me wrong. I mean, I used to be an umpire. So I mean,
you did? You were?
I was an umpire.
Go Rep Go! Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Go Rep Go!
And I mean, I've been sworn at, spit at, kicked, you name it. And you got to put on the thick skin. Mm-hmm. You got to have a programmable hearing aid that you can turn down anytime you want. And if you're going to referee, you got to referee because you love the game, and you have to block out. If a player or a coach gets out of line, you have the power to do whatever you want. But and as far as the fans go, if they keep it clean, and they're not letting go with the expletives, which I'd throw myself out if I said something like that, or anything like that. And I think if you keep it clean, referees got to be used to that. I mean, if you ever heard me at a Red Sox game, or a Bruins game, or a Patriots game, and again, you keep it clean. But and as a matter of fact, when they had the game at the Malden High School the other night, the Malden police officers versus some of the All-Stars there, and there was no reason to say anything to referee. So when it was tied 59-59 in the end, and the Malden police officers took a timeout, I yelled out, "That's no timeout, that's a donut break!" And boy, oh boy, I did not want to leave that or park my car anywhere. But no, the officiating is a real a tough job to do. I mean, I coached too. I coached in Everett for 5 years and had to deal with the umpires and the fans and the parents. And the parents are the toughest. The parents are the toughest, I have to admit. But these guys do a stellar job on some days, and some days they have their bad days, and I let them know about it.
Yes.
In a nice way. In a nice way. In a nice way. Again, it's all about position. If you're not in position to make the call, that's when I'll get on the referee. Because if you got a guy down below calling a foul out top, or a fella out top calling a foul down below that he's blocked out from, don't be making a call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, you just can't see. You can't anticipate. That's not when you're a referee. You don't anticipate.
Yes.
And that's one of the biggest faults I think.
I heard that same exact advice when I took the course.
Papa Gillis, you are officially out of the web. And I have to tell you, Go Ref Go and Waldo and RA and TCM and Jam Master Joanne, who's here tonight for the first time, that was probably the most interesting and informative web that we've ever had. But right now, back in the studios of Around the Rim, MATV, I am the Dudster, Nestor Dudley. And
Nestor, can I interrupt you real quick?
You real quick.
Okay, just being an official myself, I have to say that was the most interesting web I have experienced.
Waldo, didn't I just say that?
But I want to add the most with a little extra.
Waldo, I'm thinking of 3 letters. But no, seriously, back here in the studios, I have to get to this question. Because Beanie Amos specifically told me to bring this up. Now, what Beanie Amos have noticed that this season, and the 2005 season of the MNBL, the 20th season, that there has been a lot of people at the gym that have been losing control.
Absolutely.
Steve Wright, head coach of the Bullets, sometimes loses control. Glenn Higgins, who made his own hothead coach of the Kings, loses control. Magic Revere, the head coach of the Celtics, loses control. Bernaco, Stroud, and Jovan Walcott of the Hawks losing control. Chuck Rogers, Gary Rogers, Troy Dinkins, all the Sonics losing control. Matter of fact, the only 2 coaches that don't lose control, Big Mac Attack, Mac Singleton of the Sixers, he doesn't call any timeouts, so he's not going to lose any control.
I wasn't going to say anything about that.
And Beanie Amos has been the portrait of a perfect citizen, doesn't lose control. But we've seen you plenty of times in the stands. Losing control. Tell you to get a little eye control.
Have you got pictures? Can you back this up?
We do not have still photos, but we might have video footage. We certainly have eyewitnesses, enough eyewitnesses.
Again, as long as it's clean, and it's not at the players, and it's only at the referees. And I talk to these guys after the games, and I don't think there's any hard feelings. But I do want to address one thing though, and I was going to address this when I was in the Everett baseball system, is that as adults and as coaches, we need to be role models for these guys. Because when I came from Everett, from the Everett system, a lot of these kids don't go to the ball game or come to the basketball court because they want to play ball. They do it because they want to get out of the house, away from the smoking, the drinking, the swearing, and the fighting.
Yes.
And if they get yelled at while they're on the court, this is where we lose them to the street corner. So we have a bigger responsibility than we think we do. And I think we have to keep that in mind when we're coaching the kids. There's nothing worse than a kid getting yelled at, telling him he's stupid or he should, pull them aside, let them know on the side instead of out in front of everybody else, like sometimes the parents will do or sometimes the teacher will do in school. And I think if we do that there, we're going to reinstill kids feeling good about adults.
Coming into the madness, another informative answer, by the way. Going into the madness, it's going to be the Bullets and it's going to be the Hawks in the first round. Right now, the Hawks are in second place. The Bulls are in third place. The Hawks have 3 losses. The Bullets have 4 losses. The Lakers have clinched first place. We don't know if it's going to be the Sonics or Celtics in fourth place. But the first round, Papa Gillis, is going to be Bullets and Hawks. And the Bulls and Hawks split this season. And it seems and ever since that the Hawks have come back into the fold a season ago, it's been Bullets-Hawks. There's been a new rivalry been brewing there.
That's right. I think the confidence is back in the Bullets players because for 3 games there we were without Jimmy
Dean, yes,
and he's huge, and a lot of the players looked to him for that offense. And although they did step up when he wasn't there, and then we had another game where we were missing Gus, Dean, and Josh at the same time. But again, the guys pulled together and didn't get wiped out. So that's a big confidence builder for them, and I think that's going to carry right to the playoffs. Once Jimmy's there, Jimmy Dean, and he can get that finger rolling those free throws, he'll be doing fine. But if he can't get the roll off the fingers, we're in trouble. Because he goes to the hoop a lot, and he gets fouled a lot, but he's going to make up for it on the line.
In your opinion, what would the Bullets need to do to make it to the big dance? They cannot successfully defend their title, obviously, if they get knocked out in the first round of the Madness. What do they need to do to keep this Hawks team in check, in your opinion?
That was my bad impersonation of the sound effects because you didn't give me the CD.
I gave him the CD.
You
Waldo,
gave me the CD case.
I gave him the CD. Waldo Wigglesworth. This thing always happens, but
You gave me the CD case.
anyways, I ain't got time to argue with you. We got to go on with the show. So we will go to the Rollins, and then we'll come back. And if we have time, maybe we'll have time for Papa Gillis to answer the question. So go, ref, go. When you're ready, kick it. This past weekend, as we see the lampshade, March 5th, there we go. First game, Bullets, Pistons, 53-29. Michael Twisted Steele, high man for the Pistons. Jimmy Dean led all scores with 30 points. The Bullets improve, the Pistons fall. Second game, Lakers, Sixers. The Lakers victorious. LaFosse led the Sixers with 14 points. Steve Ward led all scores with 31 points. The Lakers improved to 11-1. Third game, Kings, Celtics. Celtics victorious. Staminsky, Space Cadet for the Kings, 9 points. And Robbie Skane led all scores with 16 points. Sixers, Pistons, Papagallo with the deep, deep triple. Dan Sweets on the down low doing work. Papagallo hooking up LaFosse. Ryan D'Souza beyond the arc where everything is three. Dan Sweets and LaFosse, they double smack Timmy No. And D'Souza schooling the Crimson. Lisandro Rodriguez with the theft and the payday. And what happens the very next trip up the court? Lisandro Rodriguez, he does it again. Leonard to Lindbergh, Okafor, good Lord. Steele with the friendly iron. Park finds D'Souza, who blows the bunny. But Michael Twisted Steele bails him out of that one. Andrew, I'm your private dancer, Wheats, with the buzzer beater. After the break, Steele, coast to coast. He left the left coast. He ended up in the right coast. Touchdown. Dan Sweets working it again. Kenley LaFosse showing his dribbling skills. Dan Sweets tells No, get that stank out of here. And Okafor to LaFosse, nice pass. Sixers over the Pistons, 62-50. Michael Twisted Steele led the Pistons with 16 points. Andy, I'm your private Dan Sweets led all scores with 23 points. Next game, Hawks, Celtics. Omida thefts it and shares it with Legentes. Joe Armstrong, he blows the bunny. Legentes with the weak side boogie. Omida finds Guess. And look at Joe Armstrong. He all by he lonesome. Omida and Guess fast breaking. Legentes in the paint. Hawks 3-on-1, and these boys are having fun. Celtics need to put a coat on that hanger. Billy Lou down low for two. And watch this, y'all. Gibson just got mugged. Mugged it. Ray Charles down low doing work. Gibson to Omandi to Sertle. What a team. After the recess, Legentes with the theft. Alan Lamonde, he goes coast to coast. He left Turner's Falls with a quick stopover and Frostbite Falls. He ended up in Indian Falls. Touchdown. Guess at the line where everything is free. Santos in the Crayola. Santos with the South Paw lay-in. Jamie Guess, nice spin. Adler Sertle at the line where everything is free. Hawks victorious over the Celtics, 67-61. Santos led the Celtics with 13 points. Jamie Guess who, guess what? Led all scores with 30 points. The Hawks improved to 10-3. Next game, Lakers Sonics. Kelly at the line where everything is free. Langston takes it to the rack. Sanchez with the touchdown. Kelly to the house. No looks it to Sanchez. Rocker sees Wood. Wood muscles this basket. And Kelly stroking the three ball. Rocker with a deep double. Wood with a deflect. Rocker saves it, and Wood scores. Langston with the putback. And Devin McFarland with the intercept. The final frame. Chris Jackson in the Crayola. Vilsant down low doing work. McFarland on the weak side. J.P. Luis. He blows the bunny. Luis likes the long ball better. Fitzpatrick with the turnaround. Sanchez doing it to you nice. And Kelly, deep three stroking again. Luis beyond the arc where everything is three. Fred Raymond with the Vampire Slayer. Lakers victorious over the Sonics 65-57. Sanchez led the Sonics with 19 points. And Jeremy Rocker, led all scorers with 25 points. That's how it all played out this past weekend. Go, ref, go. If you're ready, it's time for the weekly Around the Rim Award. So let's get it! Player of the week this past week, Michael Twisted Steele of the Pistons. Had himself a nice weekend. This rookie, first pick for the Pistons, main man, the future for the Pistons. Coach of the week goes to Bernaco Stroud of the Hawks. His Hawks are in second place, and also Bernaco Stroud's girls team that he coaches, fifth graders, they are playing in the first round of the playoff at Malden High School, 6 p.m. tomorrow night. Go support, show the love. Team of the week goes to the Grossi girls. There was plenty of pasta, pastry, and cheese. Oh my! Woo of the week goes to Jeremy Rocker of the Lakers. If anyone was at the gym this past Saturday, they will probably regard Jeremy the same way I regard him this past Saturday. Jeremy Rocker became my hero. Jeremy Rocker, this woo is for you. Woo! Now on to the official standings. Remember, I don't care who you talk to. If it doesn't match this or come damn close to it, it just ain't official. And I have to tell you something. I had to talk to Bradworth Benton, who's always representing, because I almost screwed up my own stats. I missed the whole game that the Sonics had played. Sixers, rather. But anyways, this is all good. Lakers on top of the heap, clinch first place at 12-1, followed by the Hawks, followed by the Bullets, Celtics, Sonics. It could come down to the very last game between the Celtics and the Sonics to get that fourth place slot. And if it does, if both teams end up with identical record, we will be playing, or they will be playing, next Tuesday at the high school, that tiebreaker, just for the privilege, Papa Gillis, to play the Lakers in the madness. Followed by the Sixers, Kings, and the Pistons. Look like they will end up in butt naked last for the second season in the row. Now on to Go Refs Go, favorite category, the Dirty Dozen. Sanchez Go Ref Go has taken his rightful lead on top with 12 games. He's the dirtiest dozen of them all, followed by Kenny LaFosse. This will probably make LaFosse happy because he moved up to number 2. Omida, Charles, Berger, Dan Sweets, Hilaire making it back to the list, Vaughn, Justin Gillis, Lissandros Rodriguez, Jamie Guest, and Iggy Gibson. Those, my friends, are the Dirty Dozen. And Papa Gillis, I got to tell you, your baby boy Justin is a hack. He will foul you. I mean, Josh can play defense. Justin will punch you in your throat. I'm only playing. Next week's games. Go, Ref, go. Are you proud of me? I'm following the rundown.
I love it.
Next week's games. Saturday, 2 games. The regular season would have ended Saturday. First game, Kings, Bullets. Second game, Hawks, Sonics. The Sonics are trying to make it into the madness. Sunday's game. I got a little pause for a second. I got a little something in my throat. Sunday's game, the Lakers, Pistons, followed by the Sonics, Sixers. Kings, Celtics, that third game. Can the Emerald make it to the madness? The reason why I got something caught in my throat, because I almost forgot something very important. If you back up to Saturday, you don't have to back up to Saturday, Go Ref Go. But if you back up to Saturday, at the end of that second game, all are invited for the annual coaches, players, fans, papas, mamas, whomever, get together at Chinese buffet down in Quincy, Mass. Once again, a Chinese buffet down in Quincy, Mass. Now, in honor of March, yes,
What was that?
that was a Chinese buffet down in Quincy, Mass. But now, Go Ref Go, it is March, and March is National Women's History Month. So we're going to drop some knowledge. Highlighting Clara Barton, 1821-1912. She began her humanitarian work in the Civil War by delivering supplies and nursing wounded Union soldiers. She was called the Angel of the Battlefield. In 1869, she learned about the International Red Cross in Geneva. Barton helped convince the United States to sign the Geneva Treaty in 1882, and she went on to become the first president of the American Red Cross in 1893. That is your Women's History Moment, dropping the knowledge. Before I forget, very important, next week is the 1 hour All Madness special. So we will be here in the studios of MATV starting at 7 in the p.m. We're going to have Beanie Amos up here representing the Lakers. We're going to have Bernaco Stroud up here representing the Hawks. We're going to have Steve Wright up here representing the defending Neighborhood League champs. Big ups to that. I'm wearing my Bullets blue. And we will either have the Magic Man, Magic Revere, or Chuck Rogers representing the Celtics and the Sonics, respectively. And I just want to say this one more time because Waldo's like this. Chinese buffet down in Quincy, Mass. So go, ref, go. We only got like what, like a minute left?
No, we got like 3. But hey, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Speaking of 3 minutes, I'm thinking of like 3 letters, and I heard that T-shirt's kicking around for sale.
There is, you blew the gizmism for next week, but I will just give a little preview. Thanks to Brad with Benton, who's always representing, he took the initiative. We've been talking about it for the past several seasons, but there are official LOT T-shirts. LOT, once again, means lack of intelligence.
Then if I blew the gizmism, I guess I need a T-shirt.
Yeah, well, you have to talk to Brad with Benton about that. These things cost $12. And for you,
sounds well worth it.
And for you, he'll give it you a discount at a mere $14. But on the front, it says, I'm thinking of 3 letters. On the back, it says LOT, lack of intelligence. And on the right-hand side, for all you hip-hoppers out there, it has the initials MNBL. You know what, Waldo? Go, ref, go. I have been on my game so much tonight. I am not going to blow it any more. Don't even give me the stretching side because I'm getting ready to, I'm getting ready to take it on out of here. Once again, I want to thank Papa Gillis, Papa Mark Gillis of the Bullets, coming to doing this show. We took real good care of you down here.
Sure did.
We didn't embarrass you or anything. You know, you were very, very informative. This show will repeat tomorrow night, 10 in the p.m., and the following Tuesday, 6:30 in the p.m. But until then, buenas noches, hooches, cooches. I came in peace. I leave with love. This is for the red, the black, and the green, and I'll be seeing you at the games.
That's right, that's right. Come on. Sandal G, a pimp and crush linen. Fine women, you know I'm up in them. Yeah, I make dollars. I pop bottles with 10 models and pop collars. I'm a dog like Rottweilers and big knowledge. I keep controlling the game. Put it down in the street, I make a G in the day. But hey, really though, you got me feeling that way. And the way you treat me, girl, you got me feeling okay. But sometimes I do the dirt cause I gotta get paid. Don't you know I like the pimp when I lay in the hay. But hey, really though, can you hear me on the radio? Home in the studio, live in stereo.
Hey girl, don't you wanna be with me? How a man's supposed to be. I'll make you feel alright. I wanna do it tonight. All night, all night.
Yo, you wanna go your way? I'ma hit the highway. Girl, get foreplay Monday to Sunday. Hey, take it easy. I'ma get greedy. Cause hoes like those don't please me. Believe me, I'ma be ghost like Dawn. Shit don't change, I'm gone. See ya. I'ma be paid in the shade. With Mary Jane sipping on lemonade. Every day a holiday. But me, I'm like milk in the box. Necklace and watch pimped out to the socks. Watch, I'ma be riding in the sun. Deep in the Hollywood, me and my sons. One.
Hey girl, don't you wanna be with me? I'll show you how a man's supposed to be. I'll make you feel alright. I wanna do it tonight. All night, all night. Hey girl, don't you wanna be with me? I'll show you how a man's supposed to be. I'll make you feel alright. I wanna do it tonight.
I be stretched out like a limo, sipping that vino, getting numbers like Keno. You know how I do, I get blazed with Barbados. Up at the bar that I built with my player. Now later, I eat meat like alligator. A real player, I got dots like your data. But don't ask where I go and get cash, cause your ass be out the door fast. Cause I play any game I wanna play, and I say it's time to hit the highway. See ya.
Hey girl,